I'm not sure too many people have ever heard me talking about how I ended up becoming a Catholic after being in the Protestant world for 30 years. First of all, when I was in the Protestant world, the Catholic Church never did bother me. Um, I didn't think they were the whore of Babylon, and I didn't believe all this things I read about the Catholic Church, mainly because you couldn't interpret the Bible and get those things out of it. So the Catholic Church never has really bothered me, and as a result of that, I never really studied the Catholic doctrines. I knew their view on the Trinity, and that pretty much all of the time that mattered to me uh, was their view on the Trinity. Then, when a friend of mine asked me to look at some videos on YouTube, it just so happened, and it wasn't something that I picked out, it just happened by chance, that I picked out videos or started watching videos that were very anti-Catholic. And as I started seeing this stuff uh, these people were presenting, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, where did they get this garbage from? There's nothing in the Bible about this. I mean, any 6-year-old kid would know this stuff's not in the Bible. Uh, so at first I started defending the Catholic Church against the slander that I saw, outright slander. I mean, it was just as obvious it was slander. And you don't have to be a Catholic to do the right thing. You do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And when I saw lies against the Catholic Church as a Protestant, then I exposed those lies. Not very many Protestants are willing to do that. Since it's against the Catholic Church, they just say, well, let the Catholics handle it themselves, rather than letting the person know who's making the videos that that's just a flat out lie. So it came to the point where I was actually started defending several of the doctrines of the Catholic Church. But in order to do that, I had to understand the Catholic position. So the next obvious step then would be to begin studying the Catholic doctrines. And as I began studying the Catholic doctrines, uh, I just couldn't find anything wrong with them. That was my problem. I was hoping I could, but I didn't. And the more I studied the Catholic doctrines, the more I realized how right the Catholic Church was. Maybe one day I'll make a video on the different doctrines that I studied to get me to that. Two of the problems I had, one of the big problem I had was purgatory. And I had a Catholic priest make a video for me explaining purgatory. Then I started reading more about purgatory. And I never had any problems with the 7 additional books in the Bible anyway, that the Protestant world just simply threw away because they didn't like them. I never had any problems with those. In fact, I've read out of them a lot of times. Got a lot of good history out of them as well. So as far as purgatory went, when I began reading and understanding from a Catholic viewpoint, I realized how right it must be. And I've asked Protestants this question. Let's suppose that you died with unconfessed sin in your life. That is still sin. And, you try to downplay it all you want to, but it's still sin. What happens to that unconfessed sin in your life? Do you think God, okay, just come on in, with sin in your life? I just don't believe God is going to do that, because no sin is going to be in the presence of God. And to me, purgatory was a logical step, where I'm purged and cleansed of those unconfessed sins or things that I may have done that I'm not aware of. I'm not losing my salvation. I'm just being purified for heaven. That's basically what purgatory is about. You don't know the unconfessed sins in your life. And whether you believe it or not, God's just not going to allow a person into heaven who's got unconfessed sin in their life. That's just the bottom line. You don't have to be a Catholic to figure that out. But anyway, the more I studied the Catholic doctrines, the more I saw that the Catholic Church was right in what they taught. One of the things that helped me was a debate I had some time back on the supremacy of the papacy. And I had to do a lot of studying then and it put me in a position to go read a lot of old Catholic writings. And the more I read them, the more interested I was in those writings, until I read them all the time. And I had a friend, Ben Bob, who was helping me with find some things in order to put up this debate. And as I studied those positions held by the Catholic Church, and studied passages that related to the supremacy of the papacy, the more I began to see the Catholic point of view on it. So, to make a long story short, in defending the Catholic Church as a Protestant, it brought me to the Catholic Church, especially when I saw the slander and outright lies being said about the Catholic Church from people who wouldn't know the Bible if it jumped up and bit them in the butt. That's just the bottom line. I've discussed, numerous times with people. I said, I don't. They must have a different Bible than everybody in the world, I guess. I guess they got their own Bible or something. Just create what they want to out of it. But even their scholars, they wouldn't know how to interpret the Bible. The bottom, they just wouldn't know how to interpret the Bible. I don't even have any idea why they call themselves scholars. Anyway, the bottom line is that in my defense of the Catholic Church as a Protestant, it led me to become a Catholic. Somebody once asked me, how strong a Catholic am I? Well, I'm Eucharist strong, if that means anything to you. Another question I've been asked is, did you lose any friends when you became a Catholic? No, I didn't lose any friends when I became a Catholic. I just found out who my friends really were. If I have to somehow or another let go of my beliefs to have a friend, it's not a friend to start with. I don't want them around me, to tell you the truth. So I didn't lose a friend when I became a Catholic. I just simply found out who my friends really were. So I hope that helps you understand how I became a Catholic. So until next time, this has been Godly Saying. God bless.